Hey there you guys, welcome back. We're filming from the grow space. It's going to be a lot more common these days because the weather is getting a lot cooler outside and I've got to work on bringing stuff in. But now's the time to get this place prepped so that, well, soon you guys are going to see all the big plants that were in the garden all back here in a line. Actually, it'll be more than a line. This whole room will be full and I'll have to maneuver myself very intelligently through the maze of crazy. So yeah, now's the time, well it's kind of empty-ish, to go through and make sure the light bulbs are changed. I'm changing the floor. As you've seen in another video, I've started using these, what are they called? Connect-A-Mat. Anti-fatigue interlocking mats. A lot of people will use these for kids' play zones. They're really, really nice. They really hold on to a lot of heat. To be quite honest with you, before I put the mats down here, it was very cool down here, and I think part of it was to do with I was standing on concrete. But even during the summertime, it was very, very cool. Just in general, just standing in the room. And since I've put these down, these mats, I feel like the temperature has gone up a few degrees. Like the lights the temperature from the lights, the heat is getting trapped in here somehow, which is funny because it's a big open space. The whole basement is open, but in this little area, it feels like it's a lot more warm. Maybe even the humidity is a little bit higher. So I'm putting these down in the whole area. So hopefully my tropical plants, the larger ones, they used to be sitting right on the concrete floor. And the soil temperatures are probably 10 degrees or less, I'm sure, which caused them to really be dormant. But now, this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, they do much better. So that's one change that I'm doing here. Another thing is, last year I didn't have enough drip trays, and that's really a no-no in the house. They were on the concrete floor. I have a drain off to the side that you don't see. But still, I want to be able to catch the water. If something goes really, really dry, you know how when you water it, the water just runs right through and it doesn't get absorbed by the soil like it should. So you want to have drip trays all over the place. So these ones here of this size, I think this is like a 14-inch size. It doesn't say. 13-inch size. I was close. This will run you about $6. At least here in Canada it runs about $6, which seems like a shame. There are some cheaper ones, but they're not that much cheaper. This is a nice heavy-duty one. But what I figured was it's in a space where nobody's visiting. So $6 for one pot or several small pots. $3 for a boot. What do they call it? Multi-purpose utility tray to catch all the water from your boots, or whatever else you want to use it for. I say plants. So $3, $6. Look, I can fit it right inside. I got like 2.5 spaces. Incredible. So I'm just going to put these along the walls, and I'm just going to put the big plants on top of this. It'll catch the water, do exactly what I wanted to do. I bought 3 of them. I might need to go back and get some more, but we'll see what I need. And so I thought that was a good price-saving or cost-saving method. Also, I bought myself some of the, this is for drop-down lighting, lowered ceilings in basements generally. Or maybe you have a lowered ceiling in your house and you have fluorescent lights. This is kind of the grate that you see on top of the, or by the light. So I'm using this actually to increase the stability of my under my grow lights, the trays. Before, under the weight of all the plants, it would really go concave. But now that I've placed these in, and I'll show you, they're much more sturdy. Some of the plants are quite heavy in there. Now it's being supported a lot better. So now when I water, all the water doesn't pool in one area. It'll stay kind of all in the general zone. and also this is lifting it up off the water itself. So now it's going to add a little bit more humidity to the air and doesn't waterlog my plants. So these, they were large sheets. I think they were 5 feet by 2.5 or 3 feet, and they were $13 a sheet. So as I look at this, I just feel sick all of a sudden. Not for the cost, it was like a magic eye for a minute. So this is fantastic. I'm going to use these little off cuttings to put over top of maybe a where can I see this? Let's say a Rubbermaid container. I'm going to use it to place on top of it, so when I water my plants, as I'm getting them to drain, I'm just going to have them over top of that, and it's going to collect the water rather than me having them on the ground or whatever. Just a different watering method, especially for my orchids, because I dunk my orchids in pots of water and then they drain profusely. So having the water get caught in a container is much better than getting caught on the floor. So anyway, I'm trying to make this a little bit more user-friendly in this space, trying to keep things a little cleaner, a little bit neater. You all know me, I'm a bit of a, I don't know, I make a mess, I make a big mess. So anyway, also, we need to change the lights. I use fluorescent lights in my grow space. Everything is fluorescent, except for the light for the basement, which is incandescent, just a regular, I think it's a 100-watt bulb down here. Might be a 60-watt bulb, but that only comes on when I come downstairs. If I'm not down here, it's just the fluorescence. So I've got what are these ones? These ones are T12s, and I've got 2 different types. I've got a cool white and I've got a warm white. So one is cool temps of about 3,000 Kelvin, and the other one is the blue, which is about 4,100 Kelvin. So this one's going to give us the blue spectrum, and this is going to give us the red spectrum. So the rule of thumb, you want a full spectrum bulb, which gives you the blues and the reds. If you want, you can spend $18 to $30 on one bulb, or even $50 on one bulb, or if your light fixture allows you to, you can get one of each, and this gives you the full spectrum that you need in order to grow. So that's a great helpful tip. I learned that actually when I went to school for horticulture, and I've held on to that ever since. So this is just as effective as going with a full spectrum bulb. So yes, you want to change your fluorescent lights every 6 months or so. They still work, they still put off light, but you would be surprised at when you change the bulb after 6 months to a year, how much brighter the new bulb is compared to the old one that you already had in place. I'm shocked every time I do it. It's amazing. But like I said, they still work. I usually change mine once a year because for the most part my plants go outside during the summer. So in the fall when I bring them in, I do the switcheroo. It's a good way to just give yourself a little time frame. Every year it's the same thing. These bulbs for 2, it was I think $10 for the 2. So as long as you don't have a ton of light fixtures, it's not that costly. What else? I guess I'll just show you what the grow space is looking like at the moment, and yeah, that is a grow space update. I know a lot of you, if you have any questions on how I do anything, just let me know. I know that in the past a lot of you have been asking questions about the grow space, what I use for lighting. I covered that. Humidity, I have a, what is it, Bionaire, is it, no, Bionaire humidifier just off to the side. Over the summertime I don't need it. In the wintertime I make sure that it's full. It just keeps the room at about 50% humidity. You don't want to go up too much higher than that just on an average in your home. Too moist and it starts to feel cold over winter. I made that mistake. I had it set at 65 I think one year, and I was like, why is it so cold in here? Because the house is always set to about 21 degrees Celsius. The lower the humidity, the warmer it feels. I I think that's about it. Oh, another thing that I'm doing is washing all my pots. I haven't had the time, but soon on a nice day I'm going to take all the pots that I've moved plants around, and I'm going to disinfect them and sterilize them and get them prepped, because you never know when I'm going to do some repotting in the winter time. You can always do that in the sink any time of the year, but really you don't want all that soil to go down the drain. It could plug things up, and that's not cool. So I like to do that outside with a nice thing of hot soapy water and my garden hose. I just go to it and I turn on some music and just have a great time. Anyway, let's go look at the grow lights. Okay, so in the grow space I've got the this 4-foot shop light. It's got 4 T8 bulbs in it, 2 cool lights and 2 warm lights. It's got chains on the tops so that I can lower the lights if needed. I've got another one of the same thing. Each one of these is on a timer. It's a 16-hour timer, or it's on for 16 hours, off for 8. So I've got another one there. We've got the bulbs that we're going to use to switch on the other grow lights. These shop lights that we're looking at here, I just got these not long ago, so these bulbs are still fine. On the shelf here I've got an aquarium that I use for my baby Nepenthes. There's too much there's too much light going on reflecting off of here, but anyway, I use this aquarium. It's got lights in it, and I use it as just like a humidity chamber for these guys. They seem to really enjoy high humidity. I wish you were able to see them a little bit better. They're really producing pictures quite well. I just add water in there. You'll see the algae growing. Add some water in there to increase the humidity. I keep the plants above the water line, and I just water them as needed. So anyway, here's the normal grow lights, which you've seen several times in the past. It's a 2-tier grow light set. A lot of orchids going on in here, and carnivorous plants. Check this one out. This is the Pinguicula morinensis, the Mexican sundew. It's doing really well. Look at all those flowers. They totally remind me of pansies. I also have another Pinguicula. I do believe it's another Mexican sundew. It's rotting out. I just bought this, and it appears that maybe at the store they overwatered it, but I don't understand how you can overwater them. Anyway, this time of year anything's possible. So yeah, these are the ones we're going to change the lights on. I'm not going to do that in the video. Just know that every 6 months or so it's best to change them, because the intensity of the light decreases over time. Another thing that I wanted to show you was the Millennium Magic Witchcraft. The black orchid has 2 flower spikes. Here's the 1 flower spike. It's growing really well. And then just off to this side here on the other pseudo bulb, there's another spike. So we got 2 spikes going on. I just stuck this stake in here, and I'm going to gently coax this one to go up the stake. I don't want it to be completely pendulous, because I don't have anything for it to sit on that the flower can cascade over the pot really far. So I wanna prop it up at least 6 inches and then let it cascade down. So I think that this Paphiopedilum will start to flower soon. I see a leaf here that looks a little bit different than normal. But I'll keep you posted on that as time goes. This is not that video. This video is just for prep. So during the prep, I cleaned off my trays, and we've added those grates in here. And this now adds as a humidity tray, kind of like a pebble tray. And everything is cleaned out, so there's no bacteria growth that's going on. I like to do that at least once a year. Usually it's twice a year. Once I take everything outside, and then once again in the fall. So yeah, there we go. And just off to this side, don't mind the mess of my supply shelf. We've got another grow light set. This one's a new addition, and this is where all all of the Cattleya orchids are growing. And down here, there's all kinds of other things. Got the Miltoniopsis, and we got some agaves. We've got some Zygopedilums and whatnot. So things are growing fantastic, with the exception of a few things. I've got some little seedlings started in there. We'll do a repotting video very, very soon with those. And yeah, anyway, this is the grow space. Let me go back around here. Anyway, show me what your grow space looks like. I know some of you have some really, really nice ones that I'm quite jealous of. When you don't have a greenhouse, it makes it a little bit more difficult to deal with this, especially if you're just dealing with windows. I'm lucky enough to have a space that I can have grow lights. But yeah, some of you have beautiful spaces, absolutely beautiful, and clean. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'd love to see what you're doing for the winter, or I don't even want to say that word, for the fall. Anyway, happy growing, everyone. And, as you can probably see here, the stem is quite thick. That stem is almost an inch wide, right at there. And then some of them